Lockout Tagout procedures were created by OSHA to protect employees from the unexpected startup of machines or release of stored energy while performing service or maintenance. The OSHA standard that covers the rules and regulations of Lockout Tagout is 29 CFR 1910.147. There are various types of energy that may be harmful to employees performing work if they are not locked out and controlled. These energy types are electrical, hydraulic, pneumatic, kinetic, or potential energy, and pressurized liquids or gases. Times where lockout tagout procedures may be required are during service, maintenance, installation, construction, inspection, or modification. Authorized employees or those who have been trained in lockout tagout standards can apply lockout devices and are in charge of the work being performed. Affected employees are those who work with the affected equipment or work in the affected area but not actually performing the work on the equipment. They do not apply locks because they are not entering the hazardous area, but they should be notified of what work is being performed. There are 6 steps for shutting down and locking out equipment. Step 1 is preparation. Before locking the equipment out, it is necessary to know the equipment. How many sources of energy are present? Is there a written procedure for locking out of the equipment? Have you notified all personnel in the area? Step 2 is shutdown. Shut down the equipment in the proper manner. Many machines will simply have an on-off switch, but others may have a custom shutdown procedure. Step 3 is isolation. Isolate all forms of energy. This may be done by throwing disconnect switches, pulling fuses, opening valves, lowering presses, or any other method that may be required in order to assure all energy is isolated. Step 4 is application. Lockouts must be applied to all forms of energy that could be restored and present a danger. Tags that accompany locks should provide important information such as who does the lock belong to and what time and date it was applied. Step 5 is control. Relieve, restrain, or disconnect any residual energy that could be present. This might be done in such ways as bleeding off compressed air lines or blocking up a heavy press platen so that it cannot fall. Step 6 is verification. Verify the effectiveness of isolation and the lockout procedure by double checking. Notify everyone in the area that you are going to try to start the equipment and make sure they are all clear. Then try to start the equipment with all the start controls available to verify that it will not start. After the work is performed and the lockout is ready to be removed, it is important to know the proper steps for removing the lock and re-energizing the machine. There are 3 steps for lock removal and re-energizing the equipment. Step 1 is to restore the area to operating conditions. This means removing any tools, making sure the machine is fully intact, and replacing all safety features, such as machine guards and panels. Step 2 is to notify all personnel in the area and making sure that all affected employees are clear. Step 3 is then to remove the lockout devices. Removal of a lockout device must be done by the employee that applied it. If for some reason the employee that applied the lock is not present, it should not be removed without going through the proper procedures that should be outlined in a written company policy. In these procedures, a designated employee, often the safety and health professional, needs to verify that the employee is not present and make every reasonable attempt to contact them. If they are still not reached, then the designated employee may then remove the lockout device. The employee that left the lockout device must then be notified as soon as possible upon returning to work. After these steps have been followed to remove the lockout device and the equipment has been re-energized, and after everyone in the area is made aware, then the equipment can then be restarted using the proper startup procedures.